It's the Joe Show. It's the Joe Show with me, Joe. It's Window Wandering Wednesday time. If you're unfamiliar with the concept, we look out windows from all over the world while also reading news from all over the world so that we can see what's going on and hear what's going on out there in our big, beautiful world despite all the crap that's going on. So let's open up our first window and see where we go. Our first window is taking us to Madrid, Spain. Hola, mi amigos. We got Spain here in this gorgeous day and gorgeous view. We can see what looks like a roof cam. It's not exactly a window cam, but a roof cam. We're cool with that. We've got a kind of, I don't know, common space in the middle here with some trees. This is clearly an apartment complex. Spanish roofs are pretty cool, and they're red, which, I don't know, has a Spanish feel to it. There's also a cool red building way in the back on the right-hand side. I'm digging this window. It gives me good feelings and good vibes, and let's see what kind of good vibes the news is going to bring us. Spotify reportedly working on a new karaoke feature. You know, I was never a big karaoke singer. I think when I used to go, I would do metal songs like Metallica. And nothing else matters. Or like, I used to do screamo stuff like Disturbed. Get up, get down with the sickness. But I don't really do that anymore. I'm not a karaoke person and never really liked it. Spotify, however, is working on a karaoke mode that will feature lyrics and adjustable vocal levels for songs. Adjustable vocal levels, so that must mean they're almost gamifying Spotify. That's kind of cool, actually. The news comes after Amazon recently announced that its Twitch Sings app will be closing in January. I didn't even know that Twitch had a singing feature. It makes sense now that Spotify is going to take over that business, as there will be a hole in the market. Actually, over in Asia, this feature is super popular on all kinds of different apps because they love karaoke. Karaoke mode was discovered by the same reverse engineer that recently uncovered Spotify's plans to host virtual concerts. Spotify routinely conducts tests to improve user experience, but not all tests result in products for broader use. A screenshot of the feature is available in the article. I haven't looked at it. We don't really need to look at it, but it sounds like Spotify is testing karaoke. Let me know in the comments. Are you a karaoke singer? What's your song? Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. That's always a hit in karaoke. Every time I go, you can always bet someone's going to sing Don't Stop Believin', and that everybody is going to join in on the fun. Also, in other news, Walmart to test drone delivery of grocery and household items. Walmart is running a pilot for delivering groceries and household products using automated drones. It will partner with Flytrex, an end-to-end delivery firm, for the project. Walmart has seen online sales double in the second quarter. It has explored its options with deliveries through autonomous vehicles with Ford and other self-driving car startups in the past. I'm trying to think here if I would want my groceries delivered to my door or to my porch using a drone. That feels like another level of autonomy that maybe I don't need, but once I have it, I'll probably love it. It feels very, I don't know, invasive to have a drone land in your space and deliver a package with an unknown content in it, like unknown contents in the package, especially if somebody hijacks it and leaves something on your porch that you don't want. Though I guess what's the likelihood of that happening? It's going to happen, and there's probably people who are going to get hurt, but how much are we willing to give up, or how much privacy are we willing to give up for the convenience of having drone deliveries? I don't know. Let's grab another window here before we go on to the next window from Tel Aviv, Israel. This window has a painting of what appears to be Satan with his butt up in the air in a very, sexual doggy position here. The window itself is pretty nice. The furniture on the outside and the fake grass looks okay. The fake grass is really not doing it for me. Looks like they also have some sort of sex swing on the left-hand side, which isn't surprising considering the painting that we have here of Satan. It's Elijah Also, way in the background, we see the city of Israel. Otherwise, without the painting of Doggystyle Satan there, this is a pretty decent window. The sky is a little bit unclear. It looks kind of gray, but also blue. I don't know what's going on, if it's cloud cover or if it's just kind of half gray skies. Otherwise, weather looks nice. We got a plant on the right-hand side. Decent window. To discuss T-Mobile using a 5G connected robot to give someone a tattoo. T-Mobile demonstrated the use of its 5G network for remote robotic operations by applying a tattoo. Why OneDrive? I have everything closed down and we're still getting pop-ups on the screen. And now the connection to my keyboard was lost. All sorts of pop-ups. Stop it. We're trying to enjoy this view here of Hitler Doggystyle Satan. Now, T-Mobile demonstrated the use of its 5G network for remote robotic operations by applying a tattoo on someone's arm in the Netherlands using a robot controlled by a tattoo artist in another location. The tattoo was drawn in real time, made possible by the low latency of 5G. A video of the event is available in the article. The artist practiced the procedure on vegetables and prosthetic skin samples before performing it on a real person. I have actually looked at this video like 2 weeks ago, and the tattoo is a very small tattoo on the person's forearm. It's kind of like a minimalist geometric shape, and it looked actually pretty good, but very shaky. So you can tell that it was not done in person because a real tattoo artist would have probably had better line control. But for a first of its kind, and for that person to get the first 5G robotic tattoo, I think that's pretty cool. It's a good marketing stunt. As far as quality, I don't think it was super high quality, but because it was so small and it was so simple, it worked out. It also did, though, look like the robot was pressing really hard on a person's skin. I'll try to link to the video below if you want to check it out in the comments. Let's see what we got. This other one says researchers demonstrate in-chip water cooling. If you're not familiar, water cooling for use in like PCs is when you use water through the tubes instead of coolant to cool down your PC. As when it's running, it's generating energy and thus heating up. You can use water, cooler water, to capture that heat, transport it out to the radiator, and then evaporate it into the air. But it can be an expensive process to do water cooling. However, processor development has reached a bottleneck due to hardware limitations, as I was kind of just saying. Chips are producing large amounts of heat and cooling systems have not caught up yet. A team of researchers in Switzerland have designed a chip and a cooling system that features on-chip liquid channels placed next to the hottest parts of the chip. The researchers estimate that if the technology was adopted across all chips, it could drop the energy needed for cooling down to less than a percentage of its current values. An 18-second video is available showing an animated diagram of how the water flows through the system. I've actually seen this used in other places, and this is called microfluidics, where they use tiny channels to funnel water or funnel a fluid through a space to do something. Sometimes it's actually combining fluids or I guess you could say particles together to achieve things like bioluminescence, or in this case, it's running cooler water next to a hot chip to capture that heat and transport it somewhere else, as that's what cooling systems do, is they capture heat from a hot point, transfer it out somewhere else, and then get rid of it, only to repeat the process in a loop. So now they have taken a chip, which would be powering your phone. It's a small, computer chip that we've all seen before, and it has microfluidic channels on it that they then run water through, and ta-da, you have a cooled chip. Very interesting. If you want to see the video, I'll again link to the article, but in-chip cooling is coming. Let me switch to another window here in Ortulla, Spain. Back to Spain. So this window seems to actually like it is placed on a shaky tripod as it's kind of moving around. We got a countryside or hill view in Spain with a balcony. Again, not a window, but more of a balcony view. There's plants being grown here, some blooming flowers, very lovely. In the background, we see rows and rows and rows of apartment complexes. And on the right-hand side, we got that hill complete with cell towers. Cool. Nice Spain. though I really don't get a Spanish vibe from this particular window. It is extremely high quality though. I mean, for some reason the clouds are like especially high definition. Might also just be how the clouds look in the air. We do have one rather gray cloud that could result in some rain. That's been a report from Meteorology Joe. Oh wait, we have this camera moving. So this is actually maybe is a manned camera, not a static camera. Because it just moved and now we have more view of this lovely red brick wall on the left-hand side that stands out against this gray, I want to say concrete, but it's not, it's gray bricks. Anyways, we've got a story from a company called Wildtype. It's opening up its pre-orders list for select chefs to focus on lab-grown sushi-grade salmon. Wildtype is a startup that makes lab-grown salmon. The company is still at least 5 years from production, but has already looked to partner with select chefs from around the country. Wildtype has produced lab-grown meat similar to the meat that would be ordered at a sushi restaurant. The startup developed its own technology for developing scaffolding for the cells to grow on that would replicate the taste and texture of wild-caught salmon. Images are available in the article, which I will link to below. So Wildtype is making lab-grown salmon. This is a growing trend and is going to come. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of how or what or whenever. It's a matter of when it's coming. It's already here. This lab-grown meat, there's lab-grown beef, lab-grown pork, lab-grown fish, lab-grown shrimp. Pretty much any kind of meat is now being attempted to be lab-grown, meaning that it's cultivated in a laboratory, not killed off an animal. And how they do that, as one of our startups here at the venture builder I work at was actually doing a lot of research and work in this space, is that they harvest a piece of an animal. So they make an incision on a cow, they put like a kind of a long tube in and remove part of the muscle. The cow can be asleep for this, although sometimes they might just numb the area and then remove it. It does not cause any pain or long damage to the animal. And so then they have a tube or what they would call a seed piece of meat. They take that piece of meat back to a lab, and then they kind of, in a process similar to brewing, they brew a large vat full of meat from that seed. And they do it through feeding the meat through a process using like serum. And then it just absorbs it, and then it grows. The other way of doing it, which they're also, it sounds like the salmon guys are doing it, is to have a scaffolding. So they'll build a scaffolding out of like cartilage or fats, and then the meat will actually grow up the scaffolding so they can get it in the shape that they want. A lot of 3D printing does this as well. They'll have a scaffolding and then they'll print up along it with the plastic or with things like metal or wood or concrete. So Wildtype is a startup that's doing lab-grown salmon, and even though it is saying it's very far away from having it market ready, at least 5 years, they're still taking pre-orders from this. Whoever is manning this camera on the Spanish thing is just moving around a ton. I'm excited for lab-grown meat. It's really, I don't know. I don't need my meat to be killed off of something. If it's just as healthy, just as tasty as the meat killed off an animal, I'm all for it. You don't need to kill to have the meat. I think it's cool. Next window takes us to Cape Cod, USA. We got a deck window, not exactly a window or a window view. This is a deck view, but it's a nice view at that. This is a view of the Cape over in Cape Cod, USA. I think that's over in Massachusetts. Lovely table, complete with a vanilla scented candle. Is it really vanilla scented? I don't know, but this whole view feels very vanilla scent to me. Bunch of yachts and ships in the background, people walking around on the docks. Lovely deck with a nice colored table and matching chairs. How quaint. Just in time for scientists to find a way for machines to see through clouds and fog. That's incredible. I wonder how they're doing it, or if they're doing it with like different light spectrums. So sometimes if we use like UV or infrared, we can see through clouded things because of the different light spectrum. It's just not showing up. But I don't think that's what they're doing. Let's find out what they're actually doing. Scientists have developed a new system for seeing through clouds. Confocal diffuse tomography. Say that 10 times fast. Confocal diffuse tomography. Confocal diffuse tomography. Confocal diffuse tomography. Confocal diffuse tomography. Actually, not too bad. Uses an algorithm that measures the movement of individual photons and then reconstructs obscured objects even if the light has been scattered and bounced by a barrier in the way. A GIF is available in the article showing the system reading a symbol through a 1-inch layer of foam. This type of system would be especially useful for applications such as self-driving cars in heavy rain or capturing images of planets through cloud haze. At the moment, the technology is still slow, so there's a lot of development required before it becomes useful. If you want to see, the article is linked in the description below. And I'm going to take a guess here at how scientists are doing this. So it says it uses confocal diffuse tomography. Now, I don't know what tomography is. Diffuse means like something is spread out. So when you diffuse something, it gets kind of distributed or diffused. One way that you can think about diffusion is if you drop a dye into water, how it kind of diffuses or dilutes into the water and the cloud kind of goes. So it's diffusing the color. And confocal, I don't know exactly what that means, but if I had to guess, it would be something with circles. I'm not really positive on that. So this technology uses or measures photons, and photons are light particles. So when, for example, a photon from the sun, because the sun is shooting off photons, hits a solar panel, it knocks out an electrode, I think, or a proton, and that travels along the cells within the cell within the solar panel, and that's how we generate electricity. So photons are light particles. So I'm guessing what they're doing is somehow reconstructing the path of the photon through the object, and then they can read the symbol based on the path of the photons. I have no idea. That sounds very math heavy, right? It sounds like there's a lot of math, and I'm sure somebody who is more experienced in math can explain what confocal diffuse tomography is and how it relates to photon obscuring or movement. But pretty much what I'm guessing they're doing at a base level is measuring the path that a photon took, reconstructing it, and then they can somehow read the symbol behind it. And because all of this light reconstruction and ray tracing has to go on, it probably takes a lot of computing power, and that's why it's so damn slow. Still an interesting piece of technology. I wonder if we can use it to measure or to look into planets like Venus where there's a lot of gas in the way. Who knows? But now we can see through fog. And yeah, we can see through fog. Next window. And last story. Milan, Italy. Is it going to be a vineyard? It is not a vineyard. Looks kind of like the Spanish window that we had over here. But this is Milan, Italy. Decent window. Got a wind chime. We got an apartment in the background. Nice greenery on the balcony again. I wonder if we'll see anybody singing on the balcony. Although I think quarantine is over, so probably not. Let's grab one more headline here, and then we will call it a day. Growing gold nanoparticles inside tumors can help kill cancer. Researchers have found a way to grow gold nanoparticles directly inside cancer cells. The particles can help with imaging and be heated up to kill the tumors. So they're putting gold nanoparticles, so very, 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 very tiny pieces of gold inside cancer cells, and then heating it up. And apparently not only can they use it to kill the tumor, but then also do some sort of imaging with it to get things like MRIs done. Scientists have previously tried to use gold to fight cancer, but it is a challenge to get the material inside tumors. The new method uses polyethylene glycol, whatever that is, some sort of gel I'm sure, as a delivery vector for ionic gold. What exactly is ionic gold? I don't know. I think it's the charge, the polar charge on the gold. Somebody who's smarter than me, make a comment about it in the comments, please. The acidic cellular microenvironment in the cancer converts the gold from its ionic form into a plasmonic gold nanoparticle. What is ionic versus plasmonic? I don't know. They sound like reject Pokemon. Ionic, plasmonic. Demonic! It's a demon Pokemon. I tried to do like a demon metal scream, but that just came up as me not having a breath. After the initial tests, the scientists in the study used an existing technique to heat the gold nanoparticles up with the lasers and kill the cancer cells. So we're using gold, adding that bling bling to your tumor, and then we're blasting it with lasers. Boof, 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 and then it heats up and kills the cancer. I think that's actually, I don't know, could be a really good treatment for cancer. We don't have really good options right now for treatments. And the ones that we do have involve you taking a lot of medication, involve excision of the tumor, so removing the tumor with a scalpel. This could be another way to kill rather stubborn cancers that is maybe safe for humans. And then also, you get bling out of it. So you get in the middle of your cancer, once it's gone, you got gold left over, so you can head to the store or you can head to the nightclub and look hella fresh with your gold nanoparticle bling. Hit. I don't think that's how that works. Regardless, let's grab one more window and then we'll call it a day here. LA, USA, maybe that's Louisiana or maybe this is LA. Oh my God, I can't end on this window. This is embarrassing. LA, what is this? This is just like a typical home. Dark with a guy walking a dog across the street. We got a plant on the left-hand side. This could be LA. This could be Wisconsin. Hell, this could be Alberta, Canada. What a boring window. We gotta find something else. Cons, Germany. Oh, how nice. We've got a rainbow. Not rainbow. Here, or I don't know. What are the man, I forgot what the bull guys say. Toro. Maybe that's what they say. They say bull. I don't know. Not a double rainbow. Not a rainbow. A rainbow from Andreas. This is a nice window. Lovely, lovely view of this rainbow. Wish it was a double rainbow, but I wonder, we can even see where the rainbow is ending on the left-hand side. If there is some leprechaun gold over there. We don't know. Andreas knows. That's been today's Joe Show. Hope you learned something new. Hope you enjoyed my rambling. I know it can be a little overwhelming sometimes, or not. I'm really not positive. Enjoy the views, because that's been today's Joe Show. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button and mash that bell to get a notification every time I upload a new content. I do this Windows show every Wednesday on some other stuff. If you want to check it out, I'd appreciate your views. In the meantime, read something good. I'll see you next week. I love you.